Cause I'm about that. Cause I'm about that. I'm about that come up, running up on them fools that are talking foolish. Try to get them funds up, killing the mic just like I ran and jewels in. Y'all gonna get done up front, knowing that kid with an attitude, but you can't really blame this motherfucker for what he had to do. I'm about that cash flipping, I'm doing it on and off the market. Not about that VIP, not me, not never been a fan of carpets. All about that RIP for all of my Jesus gone departed. All about that finish what I started, I'm about that.
Talk down the night, you're not ready. We ride, we're about that. So high, we see the whole city. We own the night. Talk down the night, you're not ready. We ride, we're about that. So high, we see the whole city. We own the night.
Know that I'm about it. Want it, man, I can bring the drama. But it ain't by chance I'm fucking rapping. You don't really want a problem. Made a little cash in the back end, but the rapper they call me starving. Yeah, y'all ain't gonna ask who the man is. Hope I'm gonna be like, beg your pardon. I'm about that.
Talk down the night, you're not ready. We ride, we're about that. So high, we see the whole city. We own the night. Down the night, you're not ready. We ride, we're about that. So high, we see the whole city. We own the night.
And welcome into the Ysn Power Hour. Let's get Paulie on this show. Paulie, a late arrival, but arrival nonetheless. Before we start into this whole like Cleveland Browns world we're living in, because we already have people chiming in, let's get to our national day. It is National Get Funky Day. So you know what that means? What is the one song that you cannot resist? That constantly, whether it's getting out on the dance floor or if it just kind of like B. Miller and I were on Friday night, just kind of get your head going. What's the one song that always gets you kind of moving in some form or fashion? Let's go to our resident musical expert, Mr. Paul Munson, the Sandman Entertainment Man himself. Paulie.
To it on. Oh.
Sorry. Wrong button.
Yeah, he kicked me off the show. Jeez. Asked me a question, kicked me off show. Matter of fact, it was just a song I played on Saturday night. I had a 50th birthday party at DJ, and it's a great jam. A little bit of Michael Jackson, a little bit of PYT. It came on, and I tell you what, people flocked to the dance floor, and they had a great time. It's just a great jam.
What is that behind you? Is that a picture of you?
Oh yeah, let me go this way. Yeah, this. Oh, here we are. Yes, this.
I want snacks, or I got snacks.
That's next. So Avery drew this picture. Said it was me because of a picture that's on the. I have an Bitmoji thing on my window. She drew this cat, and then that is a juggling penguin. So it's art class here in the room, and
study hall.
Yeah, because I actually have over on the window there is another Bitmoji of me over there.
Is that the Jesus Paul emoji?
Yeah, sort of. It had more hair. I had to edit it, and I had to get a blade out and cut the hair off it because obviously there's no hair here. So,
here's EV. She made you look like Sloth from the Goonies.
yeah, I was eliminating some chairs out of my room here on Sunday, and my wife's like, she goes, "What is wrong with your eye on that picture?" I'm like, "I don't know. I didn't draw it." She's 7. Listen, I appreciate the effort. So, I didn't expect to have a little Picasso back there than a self-portrait. So
it is National Get Funky Day. Billy Mack, what's a song? I mean, you were at a wedding this weekend. What's the song that got you out on the dance floor?
Well, I was on the dance floor for a little bit there. I was doing other things.
In the Navy.
No. The whole crowd got out for Wagon Wheel for the late Nick McGagan, and then when my brother performed a song, one of his songs he did with when he was running around with Machine Gun Kelly. That would have been in college days, so pre-signed and pre-wearing dresses on MTV. That would have been his song someday.
All right. That took a hard left turn with Machine Gun Kelly wearing dresses. McNuggies, what do you got?
I don't got much to say other than probably the Macarena, just because there's a dance that goes along with it. Probably that's why, you know.
The Macarena.
That's
Well,
There's a
if you had
dance that
that
goes
on your
along.
bingo card.
There's a dance that goes along to it. So
Oh, we know. We
sometimes,
were live when it happened. I don't think you were.
sometimes.
I was gonna say that song's older than he is.
It's older than I am.
So what?
No, it's not,
No,
Billy
it's
Mack.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No,
I don't
it's
care
not.
how old. I don't care how old it is.
It was in the early '80s when that song came out.
No, it
No,
was
it
not.
was not.
Yes,
the
it was.
Macarena.
Look it up, Billy Mack. It is
90.
Yo, Alexa!
It
It was released in 2001.
Yeah.
was released in 01?
Yeah.
Wow, I thought it was earlier than that. It was
Yep, 2001.
95, 90. Yeah. Oh well.
That was a
Straight from
remix.
Google.
Ty, what's the song get you out there and get your head bopping, your feet moving?
Oh, funny enough, I think it's almost always anytime Billie Jean comes on, it's a song I usually go out to the dance for. But anytime, I swear, no matter what it is, what venue, whether it's a club, wedding, anytime the Cupid Shuffle comes on, it seems like everyone flocks to the dance floor because it's just so simple for everyone to dance to.
Ty,
Billy
you big
Mack, I'm
club
impressed
guy?
by your choice, though. I thought you were going to choose Crocodile Rock.
I don't know what that is.
Ty, is that a bat behind you?
A
You
bat?
have a baseball bat on your
Oh
back?
yeah, that is right there.
Ready for
You
intruders or
want
something.
to you want to
No,
explain
it-
that?
No, I mean that.
No one come to my house. I got a baseball bat.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, it's just a bat. This is the
That's
storage
like-
part of the house, though.
I got my Louisville slug.
The door is right there.
I got my
Someone-
Louisville Slugger and I hit them 450-foot bombs.
He's getting tired of all the crap he's been getting. He's like, I'm bringing a bat to the show now.
I'm looking at you,
bat.
Silent
I'm
Bob.
gonna take a bat next time I go to Akron Springfield.
Way to go, Mikey.
Let's go to Quinn. Please save us.
Yeah. Ty kind of took it. There's a Cupid Shuffle. Other than that, I mean, like, I don't really dance, obviously. But like
Obviously.
Thunderstruck before a game kind of gets me amped up.
For a
I
game of
picture you as
what,
like
Checkers?
a WAP.
Before basketball games and stuff, I'll listen to Thunderstruck and get amped up. Ready to go.
You are Steve Leslie, because that's
Oh yeah.
you can
What's
hear
wrong with that?
Steve pull into the parking lot with
Checkmate.
Thunderstruck. It's
That's how I know
on.
he's here.
We know Steve has arrived. I don't know how to dance the electric shuffle. My wife does.
What?
What is it? The electric shuffle?
Electric slide.
Electric slide, whatever it is. I like the
Cupid
beat
shuffle.
to it. Oh, okay. You're gonna make
If you-
fun of me because I don't
If
know
you
the
did
electric,
the electric
slide.
shuffle, that would be pretty interesting to do the electric shuffle, the combination of the two.
Well, it's time for a mashup there, Sandman Entertainment. Make it happen. I don't know how to dance to it, but or the dance for it, but I do like the beat. I think it's a little catchy. It's one of those you get one of those going on.
You're the guy sitting at the table doing it, right? You're like, yeah, I got this.
Usually at a
got
wedding, I'm the guy at the bar, just trying to forget where I am. Not a big wedding. Hey, there's Billy Mack. But Get Funky Day. You know who got funky yesterday? The Cleveland Browns. And you got Quinn with his Browns jersey on. Billy Mack not trying to spill all the beans on on running point early on. We've got people chiming in. Michael Page. How about them Brownies? Fire. I don't know if it was necessarily fire as much as the dumpster fire that is in Dallas. Like how bad
We're not going to do that.
that
No.
defense was.
We're not going to do that.
No, give credit where credit's
We're not
due.
going to do that because everybody
Why
on here
didn't give
picked the
Pittsburgh credit
Cowboys.
for being 3-0?
I mean, everybody on here except for Quinn and I picked the. You guys all picked the Cowboys.
I'm just gonna say,
All but
if
two.
you feel good about that victory, I feel bad for you.
They put up 49 points.
They almost blew his 27-point
Where
fourth
are
quarter
the
lead.
49 points. Our
Your
offense
butthole
was
was like this big in that fourth quarter, guaranteed. Because when Paul called it out on the text message, I turned around and all of a sudden nobody from the Brown side was saying much.
Have I ever said anything in the group chat during the Browns game? No.
How is it any different than what you usually do? You usually don't say anything. At all.
Exactly. I don't say anything. Watch my game in peace.
Stevie Les saying Howland wins over JFK. That was a big win for Howland. A couple injuries for JFK. Hopefully the Eagles can heal up. We saw this one from EB. Michael Page saying, "Jump on it. Never fails to get the whole crowd going." I can get behind that. Paulie, is that usually a go-to for you?
Yeah, it's one of those songs that everybody can get down to on the dance floor.
The Wobble from Coach Seidel.
Yeah, that's another one.
And Michael Page wanting some credit for the Brownies. Ty, what are you talking about?
YSN playoffs, baby. The YSN offs.
Thought we were just talking about the people we were getting rid of.
With
Anthony
that
Romo
bat.
saying, had to put the earbuds in during class here for Billy's beef. Oh, it should be good. A little bit of fire come out. 307 rushing yards against a good D-line. Now, I will give credit. Quinn, I mean, this is legit. I told you. Kareem Hunt, legitimate running back. And I think he's going to be better than Chubb over the next 6 weeks. And that
Well,
could
he's
be
going to have
scary.
to for the next 3 weeks because Chubb's out.
He won a rushing title.
Chubb's out for 6.
I mean,
Paul,
6?
did you completely miss the context of what we were talking about?
Oh, I heard he was out for 3.
6
Three.
weeks.
No, you heard that because he got put on IR, so he automatically has to miss 3 weeks. But they said they expect him to miss 6.
Wasn't a doogie.
Doogie. Another reference that is way over his head.
Remember when he said, "I don't even know who a doogie is"?
Yeah.
We're like, "All right, Doogie Howser, I don't even know what Doogie is."
I'm like, no, I don't even know, man.
I mean, from a Brown standpoint, is this a team that you can get behind now? Is this a team that is legitimate, or is this just getting our hopes up, or your hopes up for the rest of the season against bad teams? Billy, we'll have your thoughts first.
I'm not. I mean, I like where the Browns are headed. I said it earlier. The running the football. I like limiting Baker. It's kind of like hit and reset. You're basically trying to teach Baker how to play pro quarterback all over again. Nobody's really kind of showed him the reins. So you're basically using him as like a rookie quarterback all over again, kind of minimizing the field, giving you 1 or 2 checkdowns. Not, hey, we're going to run gun, and you're going to have 3 different guys running different routes and option routes, and you're trying to read a defense and not get sacked. And I like this a lot better for our quarterback. Quick decisions from him yesterday. Didn't look like he, even not too many overthrows or underthrows that we would normally see from our terrible quarterback. I mean, he still stinks, by the way. Baker stinks. All right. But
He's not wrong.
I like using him like a Tannehill. Don't have to do too much.
Are you comparing Tannehill and Baker Mayfield right now?
They're similar.
they both
Oh
stink.
my!
They both stink.
If you look, they got a manageable schedule coming up. I mean,
Mhm.
Colts, Steelers. I mean, that'll be a decent one. Bengals.
Well,
They fired the safety. Did the
Browns.
safety get cut today?
What's
Who
that?
fired a safety?
Did the safety for the Browns get cut today?
Not yet.
The one that
Number
dropped like 4 interceptions yesterday.
Yeah, he's an idiot. Fired. Step into my
Talkie-
office. You're fired. You stink.
Was it Talkie that guy?
No.
No, he's a linebacker or something.
I,
Like,
I heard on the radio that he dropped an interception, and the announcer wanted to jump off the platform.
Yeah, it was bad.
He did.
I mean, Quinn, you're in Browns gear today. It's Victory Monday. You can celebrate. Do you feel like this team is legitimate? Is this the team that you've been waiting for since 1999?
I mean, we had visions of it in 07 when we were 10-6, but I mean, I'm all in on it. And Billy, the safety was Andrew Sandejo, number 23.
Yeah, thank you, Coach. Thank you, Coach.
Hey, anything for you, Billy. But I mean, being a Browns fan, you have a delusion anyway, so you're always behind them. We were 0-16, now we're still behind them. Just kind of what comes with the Browns. But I mean, I'm excited. They're going in the right direction, and like Billy said, you limit Baker to basically just do what he has to do that's it. Run the football, and it works.
Beat Pittsburgh, and then we could talk about the playoffs. I think that's a legitimate piece. I mean, you've got to beat.
I mean, why? We beat Pittsburgh last year.
but that was when you had a losing record. Now you've got a winning record, a team that is finally considered a legit threat 4 weeks into the season.
Did Pittsburgh go to the playoffs last year? So why do we got to beat them?
Beat Ben Roethlisberger. Where's your argument there, fella?
No, he'll be hurt. Probably in a
really?
motorcycle accident or something.
Oh, okay.
They got 12 games left, and they legitimately could win 7 of those for sure.
Yeah. It's a very favorable schedule, and I agree with Michael. You got to beat Pittsburgh at least once.
Billy?
I mean, we're probably going to beat them twice. I just don't know why we have to bring up Pittsburgh.
I need to find
You're
my
on a
debit
panel
card.
with Pittsburgh fans, and they're delusional just like Browns fans are.
DJ,
They're worse than
you're
us.
looking around. Mike,
Well, hey, can somebody remind me what Ben's record against the Cleveland Browns is again?
Michael, you don't know what losing's like.
Quit living in the past, man.
Okay.
Quit living in the past.
Michael also
It's
said
in
that
the
he thinks the
reads.
Browns are going to take 2 from the Steelers before the show.
Yeah,
too.
he won't admit it on air, but he said it.
What'd you say, Michael?
I said that in the back of my mind, I think that there's a legit shot that we could split with Cleveland Browns.
No, you said the
Now
Browns.
he's changing his words all of a sudden. I mean, this is what they do,
Quinn,
Quinn.
you
We
heard
never
me
do
say-
together.
You heard me say that the Browns might take 1 from
Listen,
Pittsburgh,
Michael,
and now
don't
you're
you
trying to
stop
turn it
thinking
against me,
that Pittsburgh
saying
has a
I am
shot.
turning against
Stop
Pittsburgh, saying that
talking at the
Cleveland's
same
going
time.
2-0.
Stop
Like,
talking at the same
it's
time.
not happening.
Quinn, rebuttal.
Can't wait. 2 weeks.
Can't
Michael,
wait
2
either.
weeks.
Ty, anything?
No, I mean, I just came at it with an impartial. I just made a comment about what Mackenzie said before the show, and it devolved into this.
Ty just starts the fire. He just watches the world burn. Interestingly enough, I mean, I thought, I picked Dallas. I thought Dallas would show up, and they didn't. It was at home. Not that there's anybody there. Well, there were fans there, weren't
There
there?
was fans in the stands.
Yeah, there were.
So, I just
10%
first off, I
capacity.
saw a picture of one of the Browns fans sitting in peanut heaven with about 38 Miller Lights.
I thought
That was
that's like
incredible.
it's ammo.
That was an impressive performance. That guy, I hope he had an Uber on the way home. But you can imagine what the fare would be from Dallas to Cleveland. Probably about a couple bucks here and there. Betos has probably tried it. Let's look at other teams. I mean, what else surprised you yesterday in the NFL other than the Chiefs and the Patriots not playing? I thought
I mean, the Panthers, right? Panthers getting a big win against the Cardinals
that is a big win.
with no McCaffrey. That had to be probably one of the top stories there.
2-0 without McCaffrey so far.
Yeah. I mean, Teddy Bridgewater is a good quarterback.
I guess we're spinning nonsense now, Michael Page.
Yeah. You just lost all credibility right there. Miles Garrett greater than J.J. Watt. That is
TJ. It says TJ. It says TJ.
T.J. Watt. I
That's
apologize.
true.
That is accurate.
That's accurate.
Oh, that's accurate.
Yeah. I mean, he led the NFL in sacks last year until he got suspended.
Oh, until he got suspended. Okay,
Until.
well, and
I
then
guess it's
T.J.
not-
Watt took over the world.
Not really like anything surprising, but I guess just how horrible, and we talked about it in our picks preseason stuff, but how horrible the NFC East is.
They're bad.
My God.
That whole division is a dumpster fire. I mean,
1-2-1 is good enough to be first in that division. Just let
Yeah,
that sink in.
the Eagles 1-2-1.
Probably 1-3-1, to be honest.
Bernie Franzaglio bringing it for the Browns fans. He is bringing some cheddar right now. And in case you're wondering why it's pink, it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Michael Page, Bill O'Brien still sucks.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Yeah.
I just here's my thing is we talked about it a couple weeks ago. Browns fans tend to get too low when things are going bad and incredibly too high when things are going well.
I don't think we're too high. Are you high right now, Quinn? Are you too high? I guess saying you high is not what I want, but I mean, I'm kind of in the middle. I don't think Baker's going to take us to a promised land. I think it's going to be another quarterback that's going to put us over the edge, but or at least going to have
What
to.
do you think you'll end up drafting this year?
Middle of the first round.
And
Anywhere
where do
from
you think you're gonna get a
17
franchise
to
quarterback?
22.
And where does a franchise quarterback come from? If you
I don't
can't
know.
get him at
Lamar
the top of
Jackson
the
got picked in the last pick in the first round.
Tom Brady.
Mahomes went late too, didn't he?
Patrick Mahomes was drafted in the middle of the first round.
He was drafted number 12.
Well, middle.
I mean,
Usually
Billy
from 10
Mack
to
expects
20,
to
that's
know.
the middle.
I don't know. I just don't
Billy
think
Mack
that there's.
expects to go 17-22. So
You know that, and you could say this about any team, but Sunshine is going to change some franchise forever. He really is. He's
The
going
Jets.
to be
Unless he goes to the Jets,
the Jets.
where they just don't put talent in New York.
I
They're
don't
gonna let
think he'll
Sam
to the
Darnold go.
Jets. Yeah,
They're gonna
Them
let
or
Sam
the
Darnold go.
Giants. They're
No.
both terrible in there.
I don't think.
I think they let Sam Darnold go. Honestly,
Michael Page saying that the Browns already have a franchise QB. If you
Well-
think Baker
Who,
Mayfield's your
Case
guy,
Keenum?
good
Yeah.
luck. I will be wrong. Do you guys discuss Max stocking cap indoors yet? No, we haven't, Kate. No, we have not. And we're
It's
not
5
going to
degrees in
because
here.
it's style. It's style. It's 60 at HQ. And I asked Quinn, I said, is it too cold in here? And he said, no, it
No,
feels
that's
great.
comfy. I like it.
Typically, we have that giant air conditioner. You can't hear anybody talk. Guys, a lot of other things to talk about. I mean, let's flip it back to local here. That's what we're about. Some big time performances last Friday into Saturday. We talked a little bit about Howland. Steve called that one over JFK. Are you concerned about the Eagles? I mean, you look at it, they played a few divisions up against the Tigers on Saturday. Do you feel like the Eagles can still kind of reel it in and put it together heading into the playoffs? Yes, no, maybe. We'll go to Ty first.
I think absolutely, especially when you're playing divisions up like that. There's so many more subs that Howland was able to use, and when guys are playing those tough, gritty games, they get gassed too, especially coming into the third and fourth quarter. Having more subs that you can go in and out with. We saw that in a lot. We see that in a lot of games with higher divisions. Is that there's multiple guys that run at each position and they'll play at each position. So I think it was just a matter of Howland just had more guys, and you have a better chance to get more talented guys. That's why they're in a higher division, as well as being able to sub guys in and out. I think it's just a speed bump for JFK, but I don't think this is going to completely derail them for the playoffs.
Coach Seidel saying $976 for an Uber from AT&T Stadium to Alliance, Ohio. I'm sure there's a story behind that. We might get to it, so we'll find out. Bernie chiming in saying Howland is not deep. However, JFK.
They have more players than JFK.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you
Deep
very
is
much.
one thing, but having 50 guys compared to having 70 guys is a big difference.
Bodies just to put in the game is something. I mean, they don't have to be necessarily the best at that position, but I mean, just a body to put in the game for a few plays to give a guy a rest is huge.
If you're Coach
And I-
Logo, are you looking at Saturday's performance and saying that you might have got exposed a little bit, or are you pretty
No.
confident going up against D7 and awaiting, the regional champion or the regional winners from this round in round 2?
Yeah, I think you're fine because the thing is you get a bye this week. So having the bye this week is nice because now you're just going to get to sit and, get some guys healthy. So you're going to have 2 weeks of practice before your first game. You're preparing this week, just kind of going through your game plan of what you know you're going to do every single week. And then after you see who you're going to get on Friday, then you're going to say, okay, now we know who we're going to have Friday or Saturday. And then what is it? Division 7's Friday. Yeah. So division on Friday, you start planning on Saturday who you're going to get. And then next week, you just put your game plan in for that team. You're fine. So 2 full weeks of letting guys get healthy. I think they're going to be fine in D7, especially, being the higher seed in that. I think they've played 2 games like that. 2 games again. They played Garrettsville too. Garrettsville is a D5 school, a top 3 school in D5, and playing another big team in Howland. So that's just the schedule they make and the monster they have to deal with, and I think it prepares them
I
well.
think that's just the schedule they have to play.
Yeah,
They're not in a league, so
yeah.
They're not.
no, they're independent.
I thought they were in the north, whatever it's called. I mean, it was. I could be wrong. We had them in a league last year. I don't know if they're out of it. It was a north. Hang on, it's something ridiculous.
North Inland League or something like that.
Yeah, it's the North Coast League, is what we had them in. Maybe that's changed, and it slipped out from under us. Michael Page with a fantastic insight here, and he's shooting flames today, boys. How about those West Branch Warriors earning everybody's respect? I mean, let's be honest. What the hell does West Branch have to do to get a little respect in this area nonetheless. I mean, they won the EBC, which is a very difficult conference. They won it outright, and they're not. I can't say they're shocking us anymore. They're just beating people up left and right. I mean,
I think they did get respect. They got the 4th seed in their district.
in a good district, but
4 or 3.
4, I thought.
All right.
I
I
would
mean,
say
I don't
4.
remember because I remember obviously they weren't the same as the Joe I tell,
Why
but
is nobody talking about them? I guess
3.
Billy is my point.
3. That's what I thought.
I mean, we are though. Every week we keep saying we're talking about West Branch here on Power Hour. I mean, I don't know how far they're going to go. I don't think too far, but
Yeah, it's one of those things. Like we don't know.
it's just hard, man.
They're kind of out there. Like, they're
Yeah, I
just
mean,
kind of
they
out
got
of
a 3.
our area.
You know, Pullman was the 2. Canton Fulton was the 1. I mean, they're sitting right where they need to be. I think they're getting the respect. I mean, everybody looked at their schedule, and I mean, for a tough district for them to get the 3 spot, I mean, that's saying something.
And if you're gunning for, not the West Branch community's respect, but just everybody, kind of like YSN in general, if the YS Nation doesn't give West Branch their proper respect, because that's a tough Region 13, and they're sitting top 3. They've got the respect from other coaches. And if you want to add that chip on their shoulder, this community from East Liverpool, even though we beat them, they still aren't giving us respect. All right, throw the chip on the shoulder, carry that through the rest of the playoffs.
Let's take a
I
look
hate
at
to
this.
buy.
Yeah, Coach Seidel saying, what's your thoughts on the rest versus rust debate? Know of one area team that wanted to pick up a game, another area team said no. So you look at some of these teams with a bye. Do you take the bye, or do you try to find yourself at very least a scrimmage, and very best scenario a game for your kids to play to make sure that they're not going into their first playoff game rusty? Quinn, you're shaking your head.
No, I take the bye week if it's me. Because, I mean, we kind of discussed this before. Like, you're one injury away from your whole season being done. Like, heaven forbid you get a scrimmage or whatever, or play a game or something, your star quarterback or whatever goes down with an injury and he's done. I mean, that could change your whole season in a place where you didn't need to play anyway. You could have just taken your bye week.
Ty, how about you?
I'm with Quinn on that. There's plenty of. I think you could do plenty of practices and everything to try to keep these guys sharp. Yeah, it's not the same as a real game, but when it comes to rest versus rust, especially in football, I think I'd take the rest all day going into a playoff game.
Muncie, you've been on both sides of this fence already.
I'm a huge fan of the bye. If you can take a bye and not have to play and get a chance to get your guys healthy and move on to the next round and not have to worry about it, I'm all for it. I mean, I've seen it being a coach, how it can benefit you or how it can be the opposite of that. And I saw it when I was playing. I wasn't playing basketball, but my senior year of basketball here at South Range, we had the number 2 team in the state of Ohio. I mean, it was a great basketball team, and they were one of the top seeds out there at the Salem bracket. And the coach wanted to play because we'd had like a week and a half off prior to that, and he wanted to play. He didn't want to take that bye, and they got beat in the first round. I mean, it was one of those things. I said, you move on to the next round without even having to do anything.
Basketball was a little different back then, though, Paul. Coaches decided where they wanted to go.
Yeah, and he wanted to play because he's
So
like,
he
we've
made
been
that
off.
choice
If
for
we
us.
take the bye, we'll be off for almost 2 straight weeks of not playing basketball competitively. And they walked in and then ran into a bus on Rootstown and knocked them off. I mean, it was, I've seen both sides of it, and I'm all for the bye. You get to move on, get healthy, be creative. I mean, and these coaches at this point who are in these top-seeded teams, they are creative coaches. They can get out there and make things a little more interesting for the kids so it's not so monotonous. And like I said, by Friday or Saturday, you know who you're going to play. Get some tape over the weekend, and now you're going to be ready to go next week.
Billy Mack, your thoughts on rest versus rust?
I think the bye is weak. I think it's soft. I think you should go play. I mean, we were talking about six weeks ago, we were talking about not having a season and how we're going to get 10 games. Kids are accustomed to playing 10 weeks of the year and then going to play playoffs. I think it's just super soft. I mean, that's just basically what I think. I think if you're beat up, go find a team and play a team. I mean, I don't care. Simple. You know, most kids every year get to play 10 games, and that's about it. And then you're done for the rest of your life. You know, almost that's just how it goes. So go play as much football as you can. You know, chances are there's only 7 teams that are going to win a state championship. Okay, only 7 in the entire state. So go play football. Go
What
get
if you
more
can't?
tape.
What if you can't
You
get
could-
somebody to play?
You don't want it to be a meaningless game.
All right, that's fine. If you can't get somebody, that's a whole different conversation, though. That's
Dude,
just
I don't
you're
want to play a
accepting
meaningless.
the bye. I mean, at the end of the day, what?
Quinn, what did you just say?
I don't want to play a meaningless game.
So why, if that's the case,
Like, if
why
there's
would you
8 bye
continue?
If there's
Huh?
8 bye teams in a bracket, like there's top 8 get a bye, you can make 4 games.
Define
get-
a
nobody
meaningless
gets a
game
bye.
for me.
Not playing. Like if YSN has a team, it's YSN. We get a bye. I'm not going to go schedule somebody else when it doesn't mean anything, just to play. Because what if I get hurt? I'd rather get hurt with it meaning something.
Well, I mean,
But you're an athlete. You can't ever play a game thinking the idea of I'm going to get hurt. No athlete
but
or
if you
competitor
do,
ever
like,
thinks that way.
if you do,
anytime
and
you
your start kid goes out,
anytime you
it's not.
strap up, anytime you lace up, it should mean something. It shouldn't. You shouldn't have to have a crown on the line, or like your goal is to beat the other guy or the other girl. That's what it means. It means that you're the best. You have to prove yourself. Like
What would winning that mean, though?
the same thing that
Winning a
opting out of
playoff
the-
game is different than winning a bye week fill-in.
But here's the thing: it depends on where you're at as a program. If you need that push, you know, if you're red hot, I would be utilizing that. He's trying to stay hot. You know what I mean? Because if all of a sudden you're on a 6-game hit streak in baseball, and you don't play for a week, you're not seeing the ball as well as you were over that time. If you're in a slump, you need to get out of it. My take before we get to McNuggies is it depends on where you're at in the season. If you need the rest to get healthy, then you take the bye. If you're coming off a loss, then you should probably schedule somebody to get back on track and utilize, a little bit of momentum going.
It can
into the
also
playoffs.
give you an opportunity to play a team that you would never ever play on a normal year. You know, like it maybe an example of like a just for the sake of argument, let's say like South Range picks up a game against St. Vincent St. Mary. They probably would never schedule those guys, but maybe both teams are on a bye. Why not play each other? See where you're at. Now you want to talk about coming off a boost? Go win that game. You're feeling real super good going into playing against anybody. If you lose, then you can always coaches can adjust to that. Coaches can say, look at all the things we did really well. Look, this team, we weren't supposed to beat this team. This team's a Division III, Division II school. They're, LeBron James school. We're not supposed to beat these guys, but we hung with them for this almost till the end. And look at all the great things. Look how many points we were able to score. Coaches can flip that. You've done that before.
Here's
But
the
that's the same
interesting-
thing if you lost in week 6. You could just flip it for the bye week. If you played well enough to earn a bye for the season, why not take the bye? Like that, you were playing to earn a bye week.
Because we normally play 10 weeks. That's why. Go play 10 games. Go play games.
That's
We're
obviously
gonna come
not
here,
happening.
and all you everybody bitched about all summer was no football. If no football was going to happen, and now we're talking about taking buys.
But look at how much. Look at the less amount of time.
I don't
teams
want to
have
play.
to
I
have.
don't want to play no more. I want a week. All summer, I want to play. I want to play football. I want to play football. I want to play football. Now we don't want to play football.
I love it. I think that's a great argument. I really do.
Yeah, but I don't know. To your point too, Billy Mack, you also said there's only 7 teams that win state championships. I think we have at least 5 to 6 that are really considerable contenders in the area right now that can go and win a state championship. So I do like the idea of playing just to, so you don't get rusty. But I mean, if you earn a bye week, I think you should take a bye week.
So this is interesting. Bernie chiming in again and saying that you shouldn't go find someone that you can kill. Austintown would never go ask Brookfield if they want to play. That's a sometimes. Because as I know for a fact, there's one team that's the prettiest girl at the ball right now that everybody wants to play as a tune-up for their next competition. So when you look at yes, teams want to beat up on other teams so they don't lose their guys, right?
Yeah, I think he should have said shouldn't. Austintown shouldn't go ask Brookfield, said it wouldn't. because you never know what they would do.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, is well, let's just put it out there. East Palestine's a very popular school right now for Week 7 when the teams have a bye. They want to play, and East Palestine said, no, we're going to find somebody else to play. And that's why they're going to play Ashton Beulah St. John's. They're trying to get a win on their schedule, a little bit of momentum. And I mean, here's the crazy part about this, guys. I had a chance to go around town today a little bit and talk to the fine folks at East Palestine, and you talk to the mailman, and he says, hey, team's not looking too bad right now. We put our high water mark at 20 points. They feel good going into this game. They feel really good going into this game, and those kids deserve a chance to win. You know what I mean? So does Ashton Beulah St. John. I think it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be fantastic, and we'll have it right here on YSN Saturday at 2 o'clock. In case, for those of you on a programming note, that game got changed from Friday to Saturday. Correct, Paul?
Yep.
It was originally scheduled for Friday. We'll have that game covered, and for $9.99, you'll be able to watch it. So,
and Billy, I mean, to your point, everybody wants to play. Everybody wants to play, and this, I might be, prefacing your beef here later on, but the people you can blame for that is the OHSAA, because their thing is, because they're
not my beef, by the way, today.
Okay, well, good. Well, it'll be somebody's beef on here then.
Oh boy.
Because the thing with them is they want money. So what do they do to solve that? Hey, let's let everybody in the playoffs.
Yeah, I've said that too. That stinks. Everybody should not be in the playoffs, period.
So when you let everybody in the playoffs, and again, not to slight any teams that are in the playoffs this year, but there are a handful of teams that are garbage teams. You're 0-6 or 0-5 or whatever. If you're 0 something, you didn't deserve to be in the playoffs. You shouldn't be in the playoffs. But with everybody being in the playoffs, now all of a sudden you are.
Who are we to call a team garbage?
Well,
Who are we?
No, what I would say, I would rephrase it for him. You should have earned your way into the playoffs. They should never have allowed it to that everybody is in.
Exactly, because like I said, now because what is happening is you've got so many teams. You want 16 teams by round 2. So you have to give so many teams a bye when you've got 24, 26 teams in a district. You got to give people byes. And to say a team shouldn't take that bye, then why did you play so tough for it? You played some teams got to win a league. Like you said, West Branch, they got to be a league winner. South Range, they got to win the NE8, which nobody would ever pick them to win the NE8. So you've got teams that played for something during the regular season, and because there's so many teams in the playoffs, hey, you earned a bye now. Okay. But again, are you going to go play? DJ brought up a good point. South Range and East Palestine are both Division 5 schools. Would they want to go play them right now to tune up to go play? Hell no. And East Palestine wouldn't want to play them either. They're going to be like, why are we going to do that? What benefit does that have for them? What benefit does it have for a school like South Range? So they're not going to do that. And
do you know that question wasn't asked?
What's that?
Do you know that question wasn't asked for a fact? That they didn't want to play each other?
There was a joke. There was a joke between people across the hallway. Hey, dude, we're going to come play you guys week 7. Nah, okay, yeah, sure, whatever. And it was, but that would never been reality. The game everybody wants to see that they'll never see because everybody, and we've talked about it here, everybody wants to see Springfield South Range.
Yeah.
Go let two monsters go play each other just to see how good they both are. But again, why would you do that, as like Quinn said, when there's nothing on the line but maybe some pride, and God forbid one of those kids get hurt, and now you're like, well, we just ruined our chances.
I hate the hurt. The hurt thing is so weak to me.
But Billy, in a 10-week season,
then why did you play the last game?
Then
because
don't
the
get out
schedules
of
already
bed.
came out.
Don't get out of bed. If you're so scared, number 1, get a dog, and number 2, don't get out of bed.
The brackets came out Thursday. Why did they play games Friday?
They were scheduled.
So what?
So what does it matter if you don't play them?
Some teams were playing for a league title. Some teams like Jefferson were playing for their first win in almost 2 years.
We're not talking about those teams.
You were playing for something. And you had it scheduled. Week 7, you get a bye. You're not playing for anything right now. You're not. And to say, let's go play a game because we have a bye, if you want to do it, great. I'm not saying you don't have to do it or that you have to do it.
I just think it's weak.
Okay.
I'm aboard that train. I'm not saying it's. I think you just have to figure out.
I'm not mad at them for taking a bye, but if they go and lose the first round, it's weak. Any team that goes and didn't play additional game, and you go and lose first game, you're weak. You're weak.
Your
I'll be
opinion-
interested to see how many of those teams that lose in the first round try to go finish the season, especially if they had a bye.
Yeah, it's similar to like when with like baseball a couple years ago when they have the playoffs going on in the same season, teams would not finish the regular season out. That's why now it's the playoffs ends your season in baseball.
How about
So
this one? You can get hurt in a walkthrough. Anything can happen. And
oh, I
that's
just got hurt brushing my hair. Elbow.
Jason Wood saying Southern Local got screwed. We won our league, beat an undefeated United team who was seated above us. We lost
Yes.
one game to Latonia by a point. If the refs would have, oh my goodness. Oh, yeah.
He was good for so.
He started out hot. I don't know where he went.
It was good, and then you go down to the ref. Oh gosh. All respect to Jason Wood on that. We're not going to blast the refs, and realistically, during a tsunami, you know what I mean. You look at
No, we're right on the southern train right here.
Yeah, you are. You're the conductor. You got the hat.
I like Southern. I do. I like them a lot.
Interesting. We got to take a break. Before we do, we want to make sure that everybody knows. Also, I want to point out my shirt today. Jessica Oates, the CEO of this company. I can't even remember. You see it?
Insight.
Yes. Thank you very much. She was kind enough to send us over a shirt, and just trying to prop her up. It's just unbelievably important, especially this time of year as we head into the winter months. To be kind to your mind, because depression is a serious thing, folks. I've got friends that battle depression, family members that battle depression, and if you need help, make sure you check out what Jessica's doing over at Insight Clinical Wellness. She does a fantastic job. She's got multiple locations, and we'll make the link available to you here during the break. So want to make sure that she gets a shout out, and everybody that needs a shout out and needs somebody to talk to. There's always someone that wants you around. So don't ever think that you're alone in this fight, in this battle we call life. So we'll take a break. When we come back, more discussion around the OHSAA playoffs, what it means for you that they're charging $200 a game here on YSN. And we'll also get to our G. Berwick Farms, What's Your Beef? All that and a little more in just a little bit on the YSN Power Hour. And my freaking mouse is broken.
Don't be weak. Play football games.
Oh yeah.
Just keep talking because my mouse is broken. Hang on. Here we go.
Well, I ain't got to go all day. McNuggets hasn't said it like
More experienced reporters
A new Wilmington restaurant.
GM Lordstown.
telling more local stories
We'll look at
Baby
efforts
boy
to
is
curb
recovering from a broken.
around our
Good
valley
Community in
afternoon.
Niles,
We are
one
here in
Triangle Valley
Youngstown, right
business.
up.
because you expect
It's important for everyone. No place like home.
more local news.
Then Mercer County
Before
Court
they become life-threatening.
21 News is our valley's #1 local news.
Welcome home to a home made homier with Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods. Inspiration starts at BairdBrothers.com and is turned into reality when high-quality hardwoods are delivered right to your home. Baird Brothers has the latest design trends, shiplap and skinny lap interior siding, antique oak rustic flooring, and, well, you'll find them all at BairdBrothers.com. Ordered easily, delivered conveniently, enjoyed comfortably. BairdBrothers.com.
Friday night, it's fresh limousine. I'm feeling pretty good about myself, like I'm living the dream. Platform shoes, strut down the street. It's gonna get hot here, I hope you can handle the heat.
Over the years, you watched us grow, and as we've grown, so has the Myers Family Insurance team.
Thanks to all of you who have trusted our families to help you with your Medicare needs.
Myers Family Insurance looks forward to helping you now for years to come. So call our family today and remind them how cute we are.
Myers Family Insurance continues to be the area's resource for all your Medicare and retirement needs. Call today, 330-286-3044.
And welcome back to the YSN Power Hour. DJ Yoakley along with a few of my friends, Quinn Pushkar, Ty Bartell, Paul Munson, Billy McCartney, and Michael McKenzie. Guys, before we broke, it was a talk about the OHSAA, the Rust versus Rest, courtesy of the great Matt Seidel for that. Again, that's a topic that people are going to fight about, especially, I mean, can you imagine getting a bye and then not really showing up? And I say that with kind of tongue in cheek. Imagine you get blown out after a bye week. Does it?
The Ravens.
Does it kind of second guess what your original plan was? I mean, do you go back and say, "Man, maybe we should have played a game"?
Yeah.
Good talk.
Yeah, you know where I stand on this, so
I mean,
I know where you're at.
I do think it does. Because if you have the ability, I don't care who it is, if you can go schedule a game with either Akron St. Hoban or East Palestine, you're playing football, you're staying in the rhythm, and yes, I know it was a shortened preseason, and there wasn't as many scrimmages and time to prepare, but you're still staying in the football rhythm instead of 2 entire weeks of practice, no games, and then you have to jump into a playoff game. And yes, maybe not every team earned it, but still, coming off of a bye week, not playing any football, I think that kind of hurts you a little bit. You look at a lot of NFL teams, they're at their 100% best coming off of a bye week. And when you're in the playoffs, you need to be at your 100% best 100% of the time. So whoever it is, go out, schedule a scrimmage, not an actual game, but a scrimmage. Stay in football rhythm and make sure that you are still in that football mood going into your first playoff game, aside from just 2 weeks of practice, actually playing a controlled scrimmage.
It is better than nothing. So if you're going to meet me in the middle, I'm cool with that. But they're just, yeah.
Here's what I don't want. We talked about this. We talked about the difference of, saying you missed out on your season. Billy, I think there's a lot of legitimacy to what you're talking about. You play 10 weeks on a regular basis. Why would you not want to play the games? Everybody was upset, and everybody, thoughts and prayers to those in the spring that couldn't play any games. And now we're going to sit here and calculate our games. We're gonna do load management in high school. Not buying it. So, speaking of load management, while we have a second, let's get to one of our favorite players on this program. If we can, let's see if I can get down to there it is. There we go. Boom.
Cry baby.
Oh yeah.
There he is.
Le baby.
So last night, as most people didn't watch.
I don't know about that.
LeBron James, 10 seconds left in the game, walks off the floor. Quinn, I'd like for you to walk me through this one. What was going through your mind when it happened? Because you're a LeBron James supporter. I mean, you have wherever he goes, you go with him. And I'm not saying that it's right or wrong. I'm just saying, what was going through your mind when he did that? Could you believe it?
Game was over. He walked off the floor. He made it.
Wasn't over.
He left.
Clearly wasn't. It did the final horn sound.
It was over. I mean, they were dribbling out the clock. It was over.
And the Lakers still need to inbound the ball to end the game.
Is what it is.
Yes.
He left the floor.
Was LeBron checked in?
He left the floor.
Yes.
So here's my question to you. As a basketball coach, if one of your kids did that, would you be saying it is what it is? He just walked off the floor, the game was over?
Well, they're not getting paid $30 million to play basketball.
So
it's still the integrity of
He was getting paid $30 million to walk
There's
off the
nothing
floor
I
with
can
10
say.
seconds left
I got
after
nothing to
Jimmy
say
Butler
about
put up 40, 11, and 13 on him?
I got nothing to say about it. He left. He walked off.
Of course.
I mean, it's still like
He walked off. What do you want me to say? He walked off the floor. I got nothing.
When checked in.
I got nothing. He walked off the floor. Is what it is. It's not a good example for anybody.
Okay. Well, at least, I mean, that's
right.
I think that's what we were looking for, like that you either approved or you disapprove of what he did.
He walked off the floor. I mean, who am I to tell a multi-millionaire can't walk off a floor?
Well, I think with me at least, if I was upset about, we watched The Last Dance this spring, and if you were upset about the Pistons kind of walking off in the middle of their game like they did to the Bulls, I think you have to be upset with this too.
I agree.
And as long as you are or not, if you were the same on both scenarios, then I think you're good. But for me, it was just I didn't like it.
It was Bush is what it was.
Yeah, Randy Moss did it in football too. I didn't like it then. I don't like it with this. I just I'm not a fan. of it.
No, I don't think Browns fans will know this, but a few years back on a Monday night game against Tennessee, LeGarrette Blount did it for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm not sure we ever saw him in a Steelers uniform after it.
We didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't even know he
It
played.
was soft bush league. Yeah, he played for him for like maybe half a year and a half.
Yeah, half a year.
He's the entire reason Le'Veon Bell went off the tracks.
He was a bum.
Yeah.
He was a bum. He was a bum.
They just, I think,
out of college too.
I mean, let's be honest. It happens all the time. Everybody does it. It's just that it's
no, they don't.
LeBron.
They don't do it.
I mean, we just went over it. LeGarrette Blount did it. Nobody.
It happens all the time.
What do you? He got cut.
He got cut from
LeBron. It's because he has a bigger thing, and it's because he claims.
Yeah, because he's the greatest player in the world. Let's give him special treatment.
No.
Let's give him special treatment.
How he portrays
as
himself.
a basketball coach,
what I'm hearing.
As a basketball coach, you cannot condone this, correct?
No.
But the thing is, with LeBron, the Lakers front office is going to say, let LeBron do it.
This,
Because
though.
he's
Like,
LeBron.
in all honesty, if the 12th guy on the bench did it, would anybody say anything about it?
Was he checked into the game?
Would
Is he
anybody
trying to set an example for the younger generation? Is he the idol for millions of people?
This is the perfect scenario.
That's what I'm saying.
Down
Like,
below.
it's because of who he is.
Look, no. Well, here's the thing. He
Right
put
there,
that on
exactly,
himself.
right there. That's what it is. If the 12th guy on the bench that was in garbage time did it, nobody would say anything
Because he's not the person that's a role model for millions of kids that look up to him.
Exactly. That's
it
what I'm
wasn't
saying.
the NBA Finals.
That's what I'm saying. It's because of who it is.
If it was a regular season game and it's the 12th man and they got smoked and he plays for the Utah Jazz, yeah, nobody's probably saying a word about it because nobody's probably watching that for one.
Yeah.
And
Nobody
two,
says anything when it's not
nobody's gonna
somebody
care.
that has high stature.
LeBron's in the NBA Finals, which in all intents and purposes, they think they should have smoked Miami from the go. It should be up 3-0, and he's done. He's sitting there looking, yeah, whatever. I'm going to walk off. He walks off about 10, 15 feet, stops, looks back at, okay, good. Now I can get out of here because he wants nothing to do with. He got smoked in Game 3.
Listen, he's been through the PR stuff before. He understands what this is going to look like, and he chose to still walk off the floor.
This is just another one of those LeBron moments where people can talk about him in one way or another.
It's about LeBron. It's not about the Lakers. It's not about the NBA. It's about his brand. He wants to be in the limelight 24/7, 365, no matter what.
I mean, regardless, he would have been. Yeah, I mean, if he didn't even walk off the floor today, he'd still be talking about LeBron losing.
But
no, I think we'd be talking about Jimmy going 40, 10, and 13.
No, but it takes the narrative away from Jimmy Butler.
That's Billy's got it nailed down. It takes the narrative away from Jimmy McBuckets, or
Jimmy
whatever
Buckets.
It's about LeBron, and I'll tell you what, as much as I give him garbage, he is a role model to so many people, and this is how he repays those people for staying loyal to him. Guys like you, Quinn, are loyal to him even after that. Like,
that's not going to change anything in my mind.
As a basketball coach, I would look, and I'm not telling you how to feel, but if I was a basketball coach and I saw that, I would say, that dude, I'll never look at him the same again. The same way that he took his jersey off in Cleveland and the world welcomed him back.
That.
Huh?
That was in the tunnel.
On the way to the tunnel.
He was already in the back. He already walked through the back, but cameras follow him everywhere. But no, it's shitty. I mean, it's straight up shitty.
That's why he took the jersey off, because he knew the cameras followed him everywhere.
I don't condone it, and
it's a scumbag move. If Jeff were here, he'd say it's a scumbag move to do what he did. And as we're a high school, college based organization in sports. If anybody else did that, they would not be playing the next day.
No, if a kid walked off the mound, he'd be off my team. I don't care if we were down 15, he'd be off the team. Period.
Look what the Indians did with Trevor Bauer.
Yeah, gone the very next day.
Mike Clevenger. Look at him. I mean, they got value for him, but they traded him not too long after the whole COVID incident where he nearly exposed his team and cost him.
Ty, where do you stand on this?
He's muted.
You're muted, bud. Do you need help getting on it? Hang on.
All right.
There it is.
And I've always been a pretty big LeBron James fan. I mean, I'm never going to take anything away from him being a top 5 basketball player all time. But I mean, to much of Billy Mac's credit, watching, the whole Bad Boys documentary, watching, The Last Dance, I hated the fact that the Pistons did what they did in the finals against the Bulls. And I mean, it's the same feeling with this. And, I still do. I do like LeBron as a player, but I mean, there's nothing else, but it's disrespectful to the other team. Because no matter what, win or lose, you respect the team that beats you, and that's.
Or how about your teammates? How about
your
teammates? Like,
absolutely.
That's the part I looked at, and I think that's what I went on a run this morning, and this is what crossed my mind is, in business, he's got his own brand, all this stuff. In business, if he wants to walk out on himself, that's one thing. But you walked out on the 4 guys on the floor, the 7 guys on the bench, your coaches.
The front office executives that did everything to get you there.
I hope for so many reasons that the Heat come back and beat the living hell out of the Lakers for that. And I hope there's dissension in the ranks in the Lakers, and I hope everybody turns on LeBron because that's what he deserves for that. You're up 2-1. You're not down 0-3. If you're down 0-3, it's still not a good reason to walk off, but at least there's a little bit of, okay, dude's pissed. You're up 2-1. What does that say? Like, he doesn't care about his teammates. He doesn't care about this. We all know what's going to happen when he wins this, is next year there's going to be contention between him and Anthony Davis. That's what's going to happen because it's going to turn into LeBron can't win without Anthony Davis and vice versa. That's the way it always goes. This is the way we talk about with Jordan and Pippen. It's going to be the same way the rest of the way with LeBron and Anthony Davis. So,
and I hated in the Jordan thing too that Isaiah Thomas tried to say, well, when we beat the Lakers, Magic and all them, they did the same thing to us. Or was
Celtics.
it the Celtics?
Celtics,
Sorry, it
yep.
was the Celtics. Yeah, Larry Bird and them walked off on us. Well, okay, then let them be the scumbags. You don't have to do that. Change the narrative. Be a little different. Be like, hey, we're going to say here, congratulations, guys. Good job.
To me, that was like them trying to live out their bad boy titles. You know what I mean? Like that was their thing. Screw these guys. We're not shaking hands. And it's just not a good way to do. And you're an athlete. It's simple. You win with grace. You lose with grace.
I'll tell you what message would you have taken, James Bartell saying it might have been a message to his teammates. What message would you take if that was the case and your guy walked out on you?
Where are you going?
No, he's not a real teammate. If he's not going to stick with me on the floor for the final 10 seconds of a finals loss, then why should I stick by him?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's
the problem is though it's not once you get to the higher ups of professional sports, like in high school, it's usually like teammates and there's equality. Him and Anthony Davis are held to a higher standard.
You don't have a choice.
Which one of the who stayed on the floor, LeBron or Anthony Davis?
But what I'm saying is
that Michael, at the end of the day, if you don't agree with LeBron, they're going to get rid of you before they get rid of LeBron.
Exactly what I'm saying is that they're held to a higher
Danny Green gets mad at LeBron and goes at him. Danny Green's gone. You're going to get rid of Danny Green before you
exactly
get rid of LeBron. It's the
Yeah.
same with the Bulls and Michael. You go against Michael gets rid of you.
It's not an equality thing.
Who did Michael get rid of?
I'm saying if somebody did.
You're saying that
Kerr went at Michael Jordan and said, "You're a scumbag."
he gets punched in the face.
Scottie Pippen's.
That's what happens.
True.
That's the difference between Michael Jordan and LeBron James. Is Michael Jordan handles his business and LeBron James walks away from his business. That's the difference. And if you're going to be the greatest of all time, you can't just be the greatest on the basketball floor of scoring points and dishes. You got to be the best teammate. You got to be the best role model. You got to be the best of everything. If you're going to be the greatest of all time, that's the standard you're held up to. Not this bullshit. I'm going to walk off the floor. I'm going to do what I want because that's what I want to do. Good on you, LeBron. Great for you that you've overcome all this adversity in your life. You're a scumbag because you don't care about anybody but yourself. And Delonte West, good on him. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Or he's going to go cry to management. I mean, Jordan never went to the Jerry.
No, he's going to go cry to ESPN because they'll air it 24/7.
And said, hey, so-and-so, this, no, like you said, he just popped the guy in the face and said, "Listen,
Two guys.
You know,
You
this is
talk
how
shit
we're
on
going to
Michael
do
Jordan,
it, fellas.
You knew what you were getting.
You want to win? This is how we're going to win. This is how we're going to do it. Not, go complain about him and talk about him and then go, get management to probably get him out of the door. Now, you go smack them, grab by the cuff of their shirt and say, listen up here, jerk off. This is what we're going to do. And
Yeah,
that doesn't happen.
That's what a leader does. If you're up against it, you don't just walk away. Can you imagine, Friday night, things are tough. I'm just going to walk. See you guys. I'm going to go grab a Sesame burger. No, it's not. Yeah. You stand with your teammates and you fight. Up 10, down 10.
I'll run it. I got it.
You got Sesame burger?
Yeah.
No, I'll just run I'll run everything. Go ahead and take your burger.
A coach is losing and there's a minute left or 30 seconds or whatever in the game. He's like, all right, I'm going to the bus. I'll see you guys. And just turns around and walks to the bus.
How do you think Davis felt? And I'm not saying that probably just looking at him like, where the hell is he going? Like, you got 10 seconds, man. Don't be the baby. Look at the clock. Take your armband off. Like, just relax. You're up a game still. If you're the best, you'll still win that. You don't need to put on the production of that. Like, that's why I do not like LeBron James 50% of the time. The other 50%, he is the GOAT. Best player to ever touch a basketball. Just like you say, Quinn. The other problem is if the dude could just control himself. That's the difference. Is LeBron James' biggest competition is LeBron James. And unfortunately, he can't walk away from that. So enjoy, LeBron. That we're in overtime, but let's kick it to a G Burley Farms What's Your Beef? I know we didn't get one on Friday. So we've got some beef to sizzle here on this McNuggets.
You guys had no beef on Friday?
I skipped out. I completely biffed it.
They had to get to full court press, right?
We did have to get to full court press.
We were running overtime with the picks.
So we got beef now. Let's go to McNuggies. Start us off, buddy.
Probably going to piggyback off of what we just talked of. LeBron James walking off the floor, 10 seconds left, knowing his team still has to inbound the ball to end the game. It's a soft, Bush League, petty-ass move by LeBron. And, he needs to be a better teammate. He needs to do what MJ did, go in the locker room, punch a guy in the face and say, listen, this is my team. We're going to do things my way, and we're going to win. Not go to management and say, okay, what can we get for Lonzo because he disagreed with me with 3 minutes and 23 seconds left in the third quarter. He wouldn't pass me the ball. He took an open three. Let's go and trade him. No, go into the locker room and tell him, give me the ball. Let me work and let me do things. Don't walk off the floor and leave your team out there abandoned. The Lakers had, I think, 3 people on the floor when they needed to inbound the ball. It was an overall bad look for the team, but horrible look for LeBron as a person.
Mac, go ahead.
So I'm going to use 2 wrestling terminology here. So, all right. So yesterday. All right. First off, my beef is it's a process. Deal with it. If you follow me on Twitter and I don't follow you back, that's just because I'm lazy. First off. Second off, if you say something and I make fun of you for it, it's usually just me trolling you. That's your problem. Okay. So, but you're trying to use me to get information out of high school sports or whatever else that you think I might post on to try to elevate your status. You can take your lisp, shine it up real nice, turn it sideways, and stick it straight up your candy ass. And second of all, Austin 316 says I just trolled your ass.
Well done. Paulie, you're up.
I mean, are you going to talk about it or
go ahead? You can have it.
I mean, I'm going to talk a little bit about it. I know you'll elaborate a little bit more, but it all started yesterday with us here at YSN when we were finally given the announcement for the most part of what it was going to cost us to do games. And OHSAA, I mean, listen, schools stay with them because they know they got to be in this OHSAA so they can win state titles and things mean stuff. But it's just, I mean, I'm sorry, I'm just going to be blunt. It's disgusting. The OHSAA is really just a money grab. As much as they say they care about the kids and they do this about the kids, it's not. They've got their favorites when it comes to certain schools and they do the way they do things. And what they're doing right now is ridiculous, because this whole thing, I mean, COVID affected a lot of people, obviously. It affected everybody. Not a lot of people. It did. It affected everybody, in the country, if not the world, with all this stuff going on. And for these guys now to make it a money grab, we're going to let everybody in the playoffs. But guess what? We get all the gate money. We're going to let everybody in the playoffs, and we're going to charge companies who are trying to help those communities who can't go to games, who can't listen to the games, who can't watch the games because radio's dead. TV only wants to show one game a week. Our local area, they're not even showing any playoff games. So who's the only place that you can get it? Right here, YSN, $9.99. You get them all. And what are they going to do? They're going to say, "Oh, we want you to pay $200 a game." A game. For what? Because you're there to steal money from the people, basically, is all you're doing. You put on your little mask, and you got your little gun, and you're going to hold everybody up and stick them up because we're taking all your money. And it's ridiculous. And the bad thing is everybody sits there and they have to play the game that these guys put out there. And it's disgusting. And it's really bad because it's supposed to be about the kids. It's supposed to be about the student athletes who take the field, and you don't make it about them. You make it about, well, we lost money in the winter and the spring, so let's get all the money we can right now. Hey, we're going to gouge everybody and piss on the rest of you. So that's my beef, and it's a big one. I understand that, but they can take that big cow patty, and I hope they choke on it.
Ty Bartel, go ahead.
Jeez, I don't know how I followed that one up at all. Munch just landed on him. No, I mean, I guess just to go off of that, it's that, and just anyone that tries to, give us hell for what we're trying to do. And I understand sometimes that, the production value will dip from time to time, because I mean, that's just what happens when you're dealing with Wi-Fi. But I mean, if you look at the whole service as a whole that we're providing to the Valley in general, I mean, you're not going to get the playoffs anywhere else. And we do this for the kids. We're putting them on that platform, that stage, so that they could have like this moment too, a moment that a lot of people never had before this. And they're going to be put on center stage throughout these playoff runs. And if you can't appreciate that as a fan, as a parent or whatever of these students, and I don't know what to tell you.
Quinn?
I got nothing. I really don't. I got it was a nice weekend. It was great for me. I guess I got beef now I think about it. I beef with my sister. Quit cheating in Topgolf.
All right. That leads things to me, and my biggest thing is kind of piggybacking off Paul. I'm not going to beat up the OHSAA. They're a business. Unfortunately, at this point, they're a very poorly run business. They like to make decisions and not have ramifications for those decisions. So we missed an entire spring season, and yet you get to make the rules for football. You get to make the rules for really any sport that you want to, as long as they play by your rules. Well, let me ask you this question. When's the last time that you've had an opportunity to give back to these schools and you've actually done so? I don't remember it. You sit there and you pound your chest and say that everything runs through you, and everything's about the kids, and everything's about the schools and the administration, but yet you don't give back. Here we are, and I'm not trying to pat ourselves on the back, but here we are giving 25% back to these schools during these financial really, really tough times. And we reach out and we say, hey, here's the deal. We feel like we fall under this category. Where do you think we fall under? And they say, well, you're not a school-run website, so you are just commercial. So the difference between that is $100 per game. So here we are, we're going to pay $200 a game, and we had the executive kind of around the horn, as we called it, and there was people that said, no way, not a chance, it's not worth it. And then I reminded them of our three mission statements and our three pillars: loyal, local, and live. And if we leave everybody and all of our schools out in the cold here, some of these schools will never go to the playoffs again, or at least for a long time. Some of these schools have never been to the playoffs. Some of these schools haven't seen the playoffs for a significant time. this is the only time that some of these kids will ever have a chance to be in a postseason. And here we are. We're going to bite the bullet. We're going to take the $4,000 check for week one. Week one. And I will scratch that check to the OHSAA, and we will continue to support our programs. We will continue to support our schools. And you look around, and we're the only game in town. So when people bust our balls about the $9.99 and they sit there and say, what am I getting for my, it's not about what you're getting, it's about what you're giving back to these schools. The 25%, $2.49 gross goes back to these schools for each and every time that someone buys a virtual ticket. That's more than we're making. We're making $1.83 on everyone. So go ahead and add that up real quick and tell us how much is about us and how much we're making money off the backs of children, and then look a little bit deeper and realize that we're investing in your children. We're investing in you. We're investing in these schools. We're investing in these programs. So to borrow a little bit of the strategy from Billy Mack, when you look around for the games to be on this Friday night, this Saturday night, I got 2 words for you. Stream it. And that is going to do it for this show. I hope you guys can check out the 3 to 4 hour tomorrow, Power Hour right here on YSN. You got Running Point from 12 to 3. Appreciate all of your support. And again, Power Play is in effect because this Friday, this Saturday, $9.99 gets you all the games. Every single game right here on the network. And of course, we got 2 nights of the Audible Call. So hats off to Mike and Nick for coming in 2 nights and making that thing happen. You'll be able to watch it all right here on YSN. Final thoughts?
Osha, I got 2 words for you. You better hit the thing before I say it.